What is up? It's your man right here, the one and only Lee Sanders. Got some big breaking news that I want to share with you guys. I couldn't wait to talk about this. So I just decided to fire up the webcam here, hop on here, and pitch it to you guys, get you all's input and all that. All right, so look, if you check out our radio edition of the RCWR show, then you guys already know what's been going on. If you aren't checking out our radio edition of the RCWR show, you're really missing out because it's a completely different experience from what you get when you check us out live on Mondays. All right, completely different show, two completely different entities, two completely different personalities. Let me put it to you that way. So look, big piece of news that's going on. Just to follow up on what we were talking about on our podcast from this week, a major network is very interested in having us produce a original live, I believe, radio show for them, and they're going to be distributing it throughout their respected network and all that. And originally, I was going to try to have the RCWR show go over there, but there is a great conflict of interest because of the type of stuff that we cover. So a compromise had to be reached, which is okay, well, look, how about we just let what we talk about currently on our podcast remain with that podcast, and maybe we hold back on two to three different genres that we talk about on there and maybe save those to make an entirely new show for you guys, the network. And they were like, yeah, that actually sounds really freaking cool. Yeah, we would love to do that. So I got some paperwork from them and everything. Now look, when I say major network, I'm not talking about those YouTube silly ass freaking invitations. Oh, come join with us because we give you great high click rate. Come sign with us. We have good impressions. And no, I'm not talking about those. When I say that we are signing on to a major network to produce an original podcast for these guys, I'm talking about the guys on TV. I'm talking about the Fox, the NBC, the CBS. I'm the WB network or WBDC, whatever the hell they're calling themselves now, But I'm talking about those guys. Those guys have, as we put out a filler, we've been pulling out fillers to a couple of networks and all that. And we've been like, look, we got this really great series. We got this really great traffic and all that. We think we can offer something to you guys. We'd love it if you could, maybe pick us up or whatever. They reached back and they're like, hey, look, let's set up a conversation. We can tell you what we're about. You tell us what you're about. And let's see if we can go from there. And the way it's looking right now, we got it. We got our spot on the network. We're just trying to figure out what exactly we're going to cover on there. So for those of you that's been checking out our podcast for a good number of months or years now, I definitely want to hear from you guys, as this is really about making a show that you, the fans, want to hear, that you, the fans, would be invested into. I can tell you this much right now: with my current workload, I'm looking to produce a weekly show at that would probably be 30 to 45 minutes. Now, I know that there are some of you diehard wrestling fans that would love it if I could talk about wrestling. Under no circumstances, I cannot talk about wrestling on this new show because it would create a conflict of interest, and that's the last thing that we want to do. So on that note, I want to kind of pick your brains a little bit, try to figure out what you think I should cover. I mean, so far my options are down to movies or music. I'm not really sure which one I'm leaning more towards, maybe a combination of both. I don't know, but I could tell you this much: it would have a great influence on the podcast of the RCWR show, because whatever it is that we're going to be covering, unfortunately, we'll have to scale back dramatically on those topics that we would cover on there and save them for that new original show. So post your comments down below. You do have a deadline, all right? Unfortunately, the deadline is going to be, I'm looking at my calendar right now, Tuesday. I'll say Tuesday, February 10th. That is the deadline. You have until Tuesday, February 10th at, I'll make this real easy, 11 a.m. Eastern. All right. You have until then to pitch me your ideas. And when you pitch to me these ideas, put some thought into it. You know, what do you, as that casual listener to podcasts, what do you want to hear? And please, no wrestling, because there are a gazillion different type of podcasts that's already out there covering wrestling. And as you guys probably know, when you hear that somebody has gone into the field of podcasts and they're doing a wrestling show, you can't kind of help but roll your eyes, because it's like, God dang it, there's so many other podcasts that already cover that topic that's out there. What makes yours different? Why should I listen to you? So I think if we all, you know, interact together and we try to figure out how we can craft a nice little cool show that would be really awesome for everybody to check out, then we can create a win-win situation, not just for me, but most importantly for you, and then for the network. All right. So, but I can't reveal who the network is just yet. However, if you did listen to our podcast this week, I did name drop them, and it was intentional. So I do that sometimes just to see if you guys are actually paying attention to what we talk about on our podcast, because there's like a lot of you guys that's out there. You'll just do the live YouTube shows and you won't check out the podcast, but then it's vice versa. Some of you guys will check out the podcast, but you won't check out the live YouTube shows. And there are just some of you guys that's out there. You're like, oh, hey, are you going to talk about blah, 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 blah? And it's like, we already did on our podcast. Or it's vice versa. Oh, hey, are you going to talk about blah, blah, blah on YouTube? It's like, we already talked about that. So it's kind of like sometimes the way I'm setting things up, at least from here going forward, there's only going to be certain topics I'm going to mention. And it's going to kind of, you know, unfortunately, you're going to have to make that decision. It's like, okay, how much do you like me? How much are you willing to go out of your way and check out the podcast? And those of you that check us out, you know, on the podcast, some of you are going to have to be like, okay, well, how much do I like Lee Sanders and what he covers? Is it enough to make me want to go check out what he's doing on YouTube? So we're going to kind of do that from time to time. As from here going forward, I'm definitely going to be doing nothing but exclusives to kind of really help separate the two shows. But I promise you guys, we won't do like some people, and I can't wait to talk about this in the week to come. I respect this guy a great deal for everything that he's contributed to the business and all that. And I'm not knocking him in any type of way. I'll let you guys figure out who I'm talking about, but I'm never going to charge you guys if I can help it. I'm never going to charge you guys for the podcast shows and all that. I believe in free. I do not believe in sign up on my website and you can get this exclusive interview as a result. It's only blah, blah, blah cents or $1 only to join. I'm not going to come at you guys with that. The day that I have to start charging folks for our podcast shows or any type of show that we do, be it a podcast or a live webcast, I think I might hang it up. And that's the straight up truth. I don't think any of us should have to pay, you know. I know there's some people out there that feel indifferently. For some, they make a living off of this. This is all that they know how to do, you know, and hey, more power to them and everything. But you kind of got to know where to differentiate that line. Like, when do you charge customers and when do you not? You know, for some, charge. And when I was talking to this network, one of the things that I said was, well, look, what we're giving our listeners currently, it's free, and we want to keep it that way. So they reassured us that they would do everything in their power to make sure that the shows would stay free. So as it stands right now, I'm with this network. I just got to pitch to them a new show, and from there, we're going to work out the details and all that. So what are you waiting for? Get started. Pitch your ideas down below. You can also grab my attention throughout social media, such as Twitter at the RCWR Show, Facebook at Infinity One Productions. All the links you need is in this excerpt description, or this, I don't know what the hell you call it here, excerpt video. There you go, in this video description. All right, till next go round, I wish all of y'all to be safe, be kind to one another, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you right back here Monday for an all new The RCWR Show. Will be coming on as soon as Raw goes off the air on the East Coast. Looking forward to talking about that. And also, if you haven't checked out our 400th episode of the RCWR Show, do so, man. It's been picking up a lot of great traffic, man. We had a really great conversation with the beautiful and the lovely Miss Casey Carlisle. My God, I've been getting nothing but good praise for that. All the links you need, like for iHeart, Stitcher, and all that, just check out this video description. Check it out, man. Represent. It was a really slam dunk conversation, man. Really enjoyed having her on board. If it's your first time checking us out, love to have you subscribe so you never miss out. You know, we're less than 20 away from 10,000 subscribers. How about that? For a channel started in 2012, and here we are now. We got 10,000 subscribers. That's pretty damn good considering, you know, and it's pretty much a one-man band over here. All right, I've held up you guys' time long enough. Go on out there, pitch me those ideas. I'll definitely interact with you, let you know if it's politely good or bad. All right, be safe, be kind to one another. Take care, guys.